Hello AGDXers, welcome back to another video. Now over on the Facebook page we've been talking about creating some libraries and collections of blocks and sprites and so on for the community to share, and I wanted to make it a little bit easier to transfer blocks from saved images so that we can create maybe little screens and so on that you can then load in. And I have another video, and I can probably put a link to that to show you how to import whole groups of blocks. But here I'm going to show you something else that I've just added that allows you to pick out just 2 or 3 blocks from a picture and then copy them. So here I'm using Andy Jones's game Nixie, and the normal way to view the blocks in the block editor, you just press S, and this is a guide like a palette. But what you may not know is you can also press Control B, and this will create an image which contains all the blocks, and this is really good for exporting. So what we do to export this, we just go to save screen as a screenshot, and rather than call it .scr, we'll call it bin. So we'll call this one nixblocks.bin, and we just save that off, and that's going to save off the whole screen there, and that can be loaded into, for example, ZX Paintbrush quite easily, though you may need to save it as a SCR if you want to do that. Okay, so let's jump across now and make an empty version of AGD, which we have here. And as you can see, I don't have anything here, so I'm going to create a few blocks. And in this case, we're just looking at perhaps grabbing just 1 or 2 of these blocks rather than a whole load. So what we do is we'll go to sprites, and we can go to the scratchpad. You press S, and you can then load an image into the scratchpad by choosing load binary data. You can use any screen to do this. You can grab one from a game, and we'll show that a bit later. Load that in. Now you load this in at 49152, which is one of the pages of memory that we're using, and then you press R to refresh, and that will refresh your scratchpad to include the image that you've just loaded. Now the additional thing that I've just added, and I was only just able to squeeze it in. I've actually had to remove hotkeys for the sprite editor to do this, but it's only a small change. You press M and you press K to paste it, same as you did before. The difference, of course, is that this now takes into account the color preview. So as you can see here, if I perhaps pick a different one, you choose 4 blocks, and you can basically copy over like so. Press M, press K, there you go. Now the next thing you'll do, of course, is you can copy sprites over to blocks using the colors. So to do this, you press Control M here, so it says copied. Control M, so not standard copy but block copy, it copies it in a different order. And then in here we press Control K. So let's say we want to start from block 1, so we're going to paste 4 blocks here, and we'll press Control K just like this, and there you go. And as you can see, we've copied those 4 blocks, so they've come from the image via the sprite editor scratchpad and into the blocks. So basically you can therefore load an image with you can see it there, so you can load an image with blocks, and you can grab them, and then in the 2-step process you can then copy them over to the sprite editor. So as you can see, we'll just do another example of that. Here we can highlight whichever part we want, there you go, and we just paste, and yeah, that's it really. Okay, so now let's take a look at how we can load from a game. So we go to the scratchpad again here. Now we go to load binary data. We can load an SCR here. You see I've got one here, Dynamite Dan. And here I've just grabbed a screen literally from the first screen of Dynamite Dan. So we just load it in, same principle. So you can take this from any game. If you see a block or a piece of graphic that you like from a game, you can save it off as a screenshot like this. And then you can just choose, let's say we choose this little section here. And again, we just press M. Then we press K, and it comes in like this. Then we press Control M to copy, and that will then copy it in block order. And then all we have to do to make that into usable blocks is to go into the block editor here, and then we press Control K, just like that. Incidentally, if you just press K, it will just paste the first block, but currently it doesn't paste the ink, or the paper, so you just have to change the color, but it would paste the pixel data if you only wanted to copy one block. It would be the block in the top left corner. Okay, so that's basically how we do that. There you go. You can see I've just deleted the ones I didn't need. And so alongside the option to import a whole stream of blocks, which I showed before in a previous video from ZX Paintbrush, this is a fairly simple way now that I've added that can allow you to copy and paste a small selection, perhaps 1, 2, 3 or 4 blocks from a particular section. So if you've got a big page, perhaps you can keep a library like that and copy it. Okay, so thanks for watching, and as always, happy coding. Thanks, bye.